Campaign 2016 segment tonight. Donald Trump took a left-hand turn in Pennsylvania last night, offering a big new entitlement for working mothers that would help pay them for child care and give them government guaranteed pay after the baby is born.
We need working mothers to be fairly compensated for their work and have access to affordable, quality child care for their kids. These solutions must update laws passed more than a half a century ago when most women were still not in the labor force.
Now, if Trump wins and Republicans hold at least one House in Congress, direct payments to mothers would be a tough thing for President Trump to get passed. I believe the solution lies in cooperation between the feds and private companies. Facebook is a great example. That ultra-successful corporation gives 4 months paid leave for all new parents, dads included. They also give employees a $4,000 check when the baby is born and $3,000 each year for babysitting expenses. Facebook is to be applauded for its worker-friendly benefits. Yes, I know many companies can't afford that, but if the feds partner with private enterprise, fairness in the workplace will be easier to achieve. It was now here in New York City, Ebony Williams and Monica Crowley. So you're a staunch Republican, would that be accurate?
Yeah. No, I'm a conservative.
All right. But you know the Republican Party very, very well, having worked for Richard Nixon and your PhD and all that. When I heard Trump last night, that could have been given by Bernie Sanders, that speech, could it not?
Or Hillary Clinton, who has a child care proposal of her own. This was a very politically savvy speech for Donald Trump to give. It's also no coincidence that he gave it in a suburb of Philadelphia.
Yeah, we've made that point.
Okay, so
right.
Pennsylvania, obviously critical.
Right.
He needs suburban voters, but more specifically, he needs suburban women voters to at least give him a second chance. Remember that he's got a gender gap with Mrs. Clinton of between 15 and 20%. So through a speech like this, whether or not he can get this through a Congress as president, a speech like this inspires a lot of women to take another look at him and say, maybe I judged him too soon.
Okay, but for a conservative like you, this, if implemented, means bigger government, okay, and an expansion of entitlements,
right,
which goes against the conservative philosophy.
Oh, yes, as a conservative, I'm totally opposed to this.
All right.
I understand why he...
No, we all understand why, politically speaking, but you would be opposed to it.
The Constitution doesn't give the federal government the authority to redistribute taxpayer funds to create a new child care entitlement.
No, but it does
it
does give the power to Congress to have safety nets, and that's pretty much what this might be.
This is a massive new entitlement, and how he says he'd pay for it, a lot of people are saying there's no way he can pay for it this way.
So on the other side, on the left-hand side, okay, so they're basically saying today, the reaction is, oh, he's a phony, he'd never do this. I think Trump would do it. I don't think Trump's ideological.
Look, I agree. I've said for a long time, Bill, that Trump is uniquely positioned as the Republican nominee because he's not really beholden to the old guard conservative party in that same way. Here's the issue. I agree with Monica. Great politics. We all know why he's doing this. It's a problem for a policy on this, though, Bill. It's got a severe unintended consequence. I think it could be disastrous for women because it's exclusively offering maternity leave. And it could start to look like a tax to some businesses that aren't Facebook, like a tax on hiring women. And I think that could actually, you know, backfire on women that do want to progress in the workplace.
It wouldn't be a tax on hiring women if the federal government picks up most of the tab. But what I'm trying to do is, and I think my solution, as always, is the best, is to encourage the federal government to give businesses like Facebook financial incentives to do these things. So you wouldn't have to create this massive new bureaucracy to, you know, write the checks and do the taxes and all of these. I mean, the IRS would have to expand like double for all of these things if it were ever implemented.
I mean, that's where the government can be helpful, is creating a tax environment.
Right, where Facebook and the other big corporations
of any size has the incentive.
And then if you didn't do it, you'd be the mean business.
And you'd be penalized.
Yeah, and look, my mom had 2 child care facilities growing up. They were small families, and she catered to low income. So I know a bit about this. Here's the problem. Again, when he talks about only offering maternity and not maternity and paternity, some businesses, I've seen it on Facebook already, Bill, they're saying, if you make us do this for women, I'll just hire men. So again,
I don't think anybody would do that. Then they run into all kinds of bias complaints and gender bias, and I know.
Here's the thing. This election is not ideological the way past elections like Barack Obama, John McCain, Barack Obama, Mitt Romney. Donald Trump's whole appeal is attitudinal. It's not ideological.
It's populist.
So he can, and he can cross these lines.
Right.
The problem that some conservatives have, they don't want the federal government mandating this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
He's a private sector guy to begin with.
Based on the new Monmouth poll, it
inconsistent.
says 66% of Trump supporters are supporting because they don't like Hillary.
Right.
I don't think they're going to change their support because he's offering this big entitlement program, because Congress, as we said, it would be very, very tough to get it through. But thank you, ladies. We appreciate it.